A tax freight train is bearing down on your retirement. To protect yourself, you'll have to harness the power of zero.
Hi there, it's David McKnight. Welcome to the Power of Zero show. Grateful that you're back for another week to learn strategy on how to get to the 0% tax bracket. I'm the best-selling author of The Power of Zero, Look Before You LIRP, and the Volatility Shield. And come November 17th, we now have an official launch date. Come November 17th, you'll be able to get your hands on my latest book, which is Tax-Free Income for Life. I am pretty excited about this book. I haven't been this excited about a book probably since the updated and revised version of The Power of Zero got republished back in September 2018. I'm very excited about this. You guys are going to see how you can completely mitigate tax rate risk as well as longevity risk all within the same financial plan. So this is, you're going to see a unified theory, unified strategy vis-a-vis your retirement plan, where you can have a tax-free retirement that's guaranteed to last as long as you do. If you are looking for my books in bulk, you can head on over to powerofzero.com/books. And as always, if you are looking for an advisor to help you navigate all the pitfalls that stand between you and the 0% tax bracket, head over to davidmcknight.com and fill out the contact form. And if you are an advisor looking to transition your practice to a Power of Zero practice to get your clients on the road to the 0% tax bracket, head over to powerofzero.com and opt in to our free video series. It's a 3-part video series that will lay out exactly what you need to do to transition your practice to a Power of Zero style practice. Once again, if you want to follow me on Twitter, please do so at McKnight & Co. at McKnight & Co. Today, we are going to talk about whether you should be contributing to your Roth 401k. I get this question all the time. Dave, what do you think about the Roth 401k? Well, in short, I love the Roth 401k. Roth 401ks are truly tax-free. Frankly, any investment with the word Roth in front of it is truly tax-free. What do I mean by truly tax-free? That you don't pay any of those taxes that we traditionally talk about: federal tax, state tax, capital gains tax. That's the first litmus test, that you don't pay any of those taxes. And number 2 is that when you take money out of a true tax-free investment, it should not count as provisional income. It should not count against the thresholds which cause Social Security taxation. Guess what? Roth 401ks satisfy both of these litmus tests. Therefore, Roth 401ks, just like Roth IRAs, just like Roth conversions, are truly tax-free. So let's talk a little bit about Roth 401ks. Some basics here. If you're younger than 50, you can put in $19,500. If you're over age 50, they let you catch up with an additional $6,500. Now, they did raise that in 2020 from 2019. Interesting note, they did not raise the contribution limit to the traditional Roth IRA. If there's any of my listeners out there that know why that is the case, I haven't been able to find a good reason. If you know why that is, send me a message at davidmcknight.com. Okay, when you are contributing to your Roth 401k, what else do we know? You can still get the match. A lot of people think that if you do a Roth 401k, you have to forego the match. Sometimes they think that the match will be contributed to their tax-free bucket. Guess what? Not the case. You can put the max amount into your Roth 401k, and your company will continue to put your match, those match dollars, into your tax-deferred bucket. Remember, that's not the end of the world. It's okay to have some money in your tax-deferred bucket, because remember, the IRS is going to force you to take money out of the tax-deferred bucket at some point in time. That's typically it is age 72. And when they force you to take that money out, you are going to be able to receive up to a certain amount of money tax-free because of your standard deduction. If you retire today as a married couple younger than age 65, you would be able to realize income from any number of sources, including RMDs from IRAs and 401ks, up to $24,800 without paying any tax at all. Okay, that's a big deal because that means that you got to, in a lot of cases, if you have money in your tax deferred bucket and you put pre-tax dollars in, that means you got a deduction on the front end. It grew tax deferred, you take it out tax free. In the case of the Roth 401k, you got free money. It grew tax deferred and you took it out tax free. That really is an excellent, excellent proposition. So we're okay generally if you have some money in your tax deferred bucket. If you have a pension, that's a different story. But if you don't have a pension, we're okay if you have money in your tax deferred bucket. So it's perfectly reasonable and appropriate to have them continue to put those matched dollars into your tax deferred bucket, even though your contributions that are coming out of your paycheck are getting put into the Roth 401k. As you know, I am a huge fan of having multiple streams of tax-free income. A typical strategy that we recommend to clients might include Roth 401ks, Roth IRAs, Roth conversions, LIRPs, taking distributions up to your standard deduction without paying any tax at all. And if they can stay below your provisional income thresholds, then your Social Security will also be tax-free. Okay, there is a big difference, and frankly, I think I understand the answer to this reason. There is a big difference between Roth 401ks and Roth IRAs, namely that when you have a Roth 401k, the IRS will force you to take RMDs at age 72. You may be thinking, why would they want me to take an RMD on money in a tax-free environment? Well, it's the same reason why, due to the Secure Act, they are going to force your beneficiaries to withdraw money from your inherited Roth IRA within 10 years. They want to get that tax-free money back into circulation so that they can start taxing it again. What is the way around it? What is the strategy around it? Well, the strategy around it is that once you retire, you should be rolling those Roth 401k dollars into a Roth IRA account. Once those dollars get rolled into a Roth IRA account, you no longer are forced to take those required minimum distributions. However, there is a big caveat in all of this. What a lot of people don't realize is that Roth 401ks have a different 5-year rule than a traditional Roth IRA. So, for example, we know that with a traditional Roth IRA that you got to hold the money in there for 5 years. You can touch the principal immediately, but if you want to touch the growth on that principal without additional taxes, without additional penalty, you have to be willing to wait 5 years. We know that with the Roth IRA, if the 5-year rule for the Roth IRA says that you have to hold the money for 5 years, or you are going to pay tax on any growth in your Roth IRA. Any money that you put into that Roth IRA, you can touch it tax-free and penalty-free. But any growth on that, if you don't wait 5 years, they're going to charge you tax on that. And if you're younger than 59 and a half when you withdraw it, they're also going to charge you a 10% penalty. So there's a 5-year holding period, as it were, for dollars that get put into your Roth IRA. Roth IRAs have that 5-year rule, and Roth 401ks have that 5-year rule. But one's an apple, one's an orange. Let me tell you what I mean. If you don't have a Roth IRA, but you have a Roth 401k, and you put money into your Roth 401k and you hold it for 10 years and you're older than 59 and a half, and you're thinking it's all good, now I want to get that money out of there so that I'm not age 72 and they're forcing me to take RMDs. So you say, hey, I want to roll it into a Roth IRA so I don't have to deal with that RMD rule. Well, here's what happens. Even though you've had money in your Roth 401k for 10 years, the minute you roll it into that Roth IRA, then your 5-year clock on that Roth IRA starts. So in other words, it doesn't matter that you satisfied the Roth 401k rule in your Roth 401k. You have not yet satisfied the 5-year rule for your Roth IRA. So you'd have to wait another 5 years to be able to touch that money without tax, or at least the growth on that money without tax. So what's the way to circumnavigate this little infelicity, if you will? What I might recommend is if you're planning on doing a Roth 401k and you don't have a Roth IRA opened up yet, go open up a Roth IRA, put $50 in there, get your clock started so that you start wearing down that 5-year rule, so that by the time you do roll that money into that Roth IRA, you've satisfied the 5-year rule. You can touch that money tax-free. And hopefully if you're over than 59 and a half, you can touch the growth penalty-free as well. Now, keep in mind that even though money rolled from a Roth 401k into a Roth IRA, you still have that 10-year rule upon your death. In other words, when money goes to a non-spouse beneficiary, goes to the next generation, your children will still have to spend that money, or at least withdraw it, within 10 years. Because remember, the IRS wants to get that money back into circulation. They're dying to start taxing it again, and they don't. They didn't really like that stretch Roth IRA where you could take money out little bit at a time over your life expectancy. Wasn't getting the money back into circulation so they could tax it quite quickly enough. All right. Sometimes I will get this question, and it's, so I have enough money to put into my Roth 401k, $26,000 per year, but I don't, that doesn't leave anything left for the LIRP. What should I do? And I usually respond to this question by simply saying it shouldn't have to be one or the other, because typically we're using the LIRP for something different than what we're using the Roth 401k or Roth IRA for. LIRPs, yes, they're tax-free. Yes, they're safe and productive. Yes, there's no limit on how much you can put in. But generally, the reason why my clients are putting money into LIRPs is because they're over age 50 and they're asking themselves, hey, I got a parent right now that's going through long-term care. How do I deal with long-term care without having to go into spend down like my parents are, without the same heartburn of having to buy a traditional long-term care policy? So the LIRP can be very, very useful because they're willing to give you, the companies that sponsor these programs are willing to give you your death benefit while you're alive for the purpose of paying for long-term care. And should you die peaceful in your sleep 30 years from now, never having needed long-term care, someone is still getting a death benefit. So there isn't that sensation of having paid for long-term care insurance that you hope you never have to use. So my thought on this is you need both. You shouldn't feel like you're in a position where you got to do only one or the other. I would say when push comes to shove, make sure that at the very least with your Roth 401k, you're putting enough money into that thing where you can get the full match. Make sure you're getting the full match. And then maybe put the balance of that money, and everybody's situation is different, but maybe put the balance of that money into an LIRP, or maybe you spread some of that between, your traditional Roth IRA. There's really, you need to have lots of different tax-free streams of income available to you in retirement. But remember, the LIRP has that special utilization for long-term care. So I would suggest that you not put yourself in a position where it's an either or, but put yourself in a position as, how can I get the best of both of these buckets? How can I glean the benefits that both of these buckets have to offer? Because they both offer positive benefits that should be considered as you're fashioning your 0% tax retirement plan. Okay, folks, that really is the show today in terms of Roth 401k. Should you do a Roth 401k? Absolutely. If you don't have one that's available to you, head on over to your human resource department and ask them to look into adding it. It's the question of signing an additional piece of paper. It's not that difficult. And not only will you benefit from it, but all of your fellow employees will benefit from it as well. So Roth 401ks, terrific complement to all of the other tax-free streams of income that we typically talk about when it comes to getting to the 0% tax bracket. Once again, if you're looking for someone to help you navigate all of these issues, head over to davidmcknight.com. And if you are an advisor looking for help transitioning your practice into a Power of Zero type practice, head on over to powerzero.com. If you're looking for an advisor, head to davidmcknight.com. If you are an advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into the free video series. Once again, subscribe, and we always look for reviews from you for our podcast and our books online. Thank you so much for being part of the show. yet another week, and we look forward to chatting with you same time next week.